Happy Thumbs Gaming. Big show.
Hey everybody, it's Brian with HappyThumbsGaming, and today we have a very special LEGO Avengers video for you. This happens to be level 15, Ultron Undone story, which happens to be the end of the second movie. Basically, there's 15 levels in the game, as you guys know. It's broken down mostly into 2 movies. However, there are a few bonus levels, and I'll get to that a little bit more as the story goes on. But we're going to shoot for that 260K, but based off that gold brick tally on the right, we're actually going to fall a little short of that. And speaking of falling short, we're not going to get any of the other collectibles. So if you're looking for collectibles, make sure you check out our free play videos for all of those. So, all right, here we are. We're up on the floating slab of Earth that's floating above, and Ultron's threatening to slam it down on the ground, which would cause global catastrophe. And there's quite a few people up here on this little chunk of Earth. So we're going to go follow the stud trail over to the left-hand side, and we will find the first group of 3 hostages, or I guess, I don't know if they're really hostages, but they're civilians in need of rescue, I suppose. So we're going to go ahead and reflect some of these pew-pews back at those guys, but more importantly, we're going to put out the fires here, and those are going to give us some bricks that we can smash and build up, and you'll see here in a second what we get to make out of it. Basically, there's a bunch of bad guys. They never stop coming either, so I wouldn't waste too much time trying to take them out because more will show up as soon as you do. Make sure all the fires are out. Once they are out, it bursts into a handful of bricks, and you got to take out the vehicle as well, and then you should be able to build up this speed ramp for old Quicksilver. So we saw one of these in a previous video, and I was like, what on earth is that? But now we know. We've used them. I think we've used them at least once now up at this point. But these are going to be fun. You hop on them by pressing the icon indicated, and then you have to fill up a meter. But see, we're fighting bad guys all around us. So again, it's that whole thing of the buttons being the same thing here. So I eventually get mounted on my little starter spot there, fill up the meter, and he plows right into that pile of rock and destroys it, giving a bunch of studs and revealing some bricks to be built, which... Then once you build it up, you have to flip the switch. But I was too busy spinning to win there. As you can see, I was in the spin cycle. Flip the switch, though. The garage door comes open, and the first group of freed civilians is on their way over to the rescue ship. So we'll get the check mark, and I think it gives us a little... Yep, here we go. They're on the little rescue ship floating out. We're actually going to have to help these rescue ships out in a minute here. They take off for the helicarrier, but they don't quite make it there. They get damaged, but we'll get to that in a minute. So continue following the blue ghost stud trail, and it'll take you around to this camera pan where it moves up and shows us a bunch of guys up on the roof being, I guess in this case, they are kind of being held hostage. So we are going to destroy what appears to be a couple of food carts here. And we should get some bricks that we can build up into something pretty awesome. And you might have guessed it, it is another Quicksilver launch pad. And yeah, there is more than one Quicksilver out there right now. It's because of that special spinny move he does when you press circle or B button. And anyhow, all right, mount the whole speed ramp there, charge up the side of the roof, and destroy the little satellite up there, which then you smash down on the ground, and it can be built into a Captain America reflection pad. So we'll hop on there and press the icon indicated, and then just reflect a bunch of these pew-pews back at this guy. It seems like you're never getting in, or you're never going to take him down, and you're not getting anywhere. But as it turns out, I think he takes like 6 or 7 shots. And I eventually get him, and he falls and takes off, actually. Ready? Wait for it. There he goes. Phew, boom. Tries to take off and crashes into the wall, giving us some needed bricks that we can build up into a bounce pad that they can actually jump from the roof and safely land down below. So, boing, boing. Oh, look at that. They didn't even use it. Two of the 3 guys didn't even use the bounce pad. Oh, my goodness. All right, but they have successfully made it over to the little rescue ships there, and they have taken off. Now, we're going to follow the ghost stud trail over to the 3rd group, and we thought we might get some studdage for bouncing on there. You know, sometimes bouncing on beds or certain things a couple of times will give you some studs, but no such luck in this case, and I was running the wrong way for a half a second, but I found my trail, and I'm following it now. We're going to go down around the corner here. And there's a couple of bad guys along our way, but never fear, Captain America's shield is here. Ooh, butt slam. All right, we see the next rescue ship coming in, and we can, well, it's going to show us where the other group is. Ooh, they're trapped in an elevator. That can't be good. So we got to find a way to get up there and fix that. But easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We're going to go ahead and go around to the front left side of the building here. And I'm kind of backwards right now if I'm looking back to where I just came from. All right, spun around, following the Ghost Stud Trail. We can use Captain America to jump up on the handheld here, which then gives us access to bounce up and get all the way up top. And really, we only needed Captain America, I think, to get up and use this this agility wall here. And once we get up here, we actually need to use his shield, too. So, yeah, make sure you grab the bluesy. All right, so we've got the stud, we knocked the shield, and it looks like we're gonna have success in rescuing these guys. Maybe? I don't know. Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. Yay! There's an Ultron clone there. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing there. He's kind of just watching, I guess. But, all right, all three are now saved. It's going to take a second for them to get rescued and flown out of here, but it will actually take us into a cutscene, and then we're going to switch peoples, and we've got a whole new set of objectives. So, here we go.
Glad to see you folks are still hanging in there. Sorry we're a little fashionably late, but you know how Fury loves his dramatic entrances. Let's help get these civilians out of harm's way. Oh, but don't forget the evil robot. Ultron's not suddenly gonna quit because the helicarrier showed up. It's time to put a stop to him, once and for all.
Sir, we have multiple bogies converging on our starboard flank.
Show them what we got.
You're up.
Yes! Now this is gonna be a good story.
Yep. If you live to tell it.
We have multiple bogies approaching Lifeboat 1. Can we get some aerial assistance?
Yeah, I suppose we can help you out there, Maria. Basically, when we get control of our characters here, we are actually flying around as Iron Man and Falcon, and we're circling the helicarrier. Now, it is to be noted that there are a couple of minikits, 3, I believe, actually, that can be found right here, and I avoid all 3 of them. Basically, there is, the whole goal here is to get over to the ship and hit the icon indicated until that meter is full, and eventually Iron Man will assist these little rescue ships onto the helicarrier. So, there are 3 waves of this. The first wave has 1. The second wave has 2, as well as the third wave. The third wave has 2 as well. So, all right, so you can see there are 3 gold ships, the little guys that I just passed there. They're kind of flying in a group. That's actually a mini kit. You can take all 3 of those out for a mini kit. Or up on the top, flying around some studs, there is a mini kit just floating there. And here in a minute, I believe it's in this, well, it might be in this wave. It's in either the second or the third wave. There is a balloon that floats in, and Iron Man targets it. It's actually almost pretty difficult not to get any of these. And in fact, if I'm being totally honest, I had to reset this once because somehow Falcon took out the 3 gold ships, and I ended up getting that mini kit. And I didn't want to get it. I wanted to make sure we saved it. So anyhow, I restarted the level and replayed it, and I ended up getting through this time without any problem. So all right, wave 2 of the rescue ships is now complete, and you can see that there are 2 more rescue ships over there in need. But now you can also see this little circle target over here that I'm flying over. That's the balloon one. So there is a mini kit right there as well, and it's up to you whether you guys want to get them now or if you want to wait till free play. The only thing is you might run into, you might actually get an extra mini kit. Now, we haven't had any reports yet of Avengers having 11 or 12 mini kits on a given level, but in the past, sometimes when you grab a story mini kit, like a mini kit that's available in the story playthrough, sometimes they respawn, and when you come to free play, they're there again. And in some cases, they actually count towards your overall mini kit progress. So kind of weird. A lot of people always ask, why is that? And that's what we have found. And as you rescue the 3rd ship, it takes us to a cutscene, and I'm talking right over it. Oh no!
I can supercharge the spire from below.
We're out of time. They're coming for the core.
All right. You take away my world, I take away yours.
Oakley dokley, we're now fighting. This is pretty much the final battle between us and Ultron, or at least the first stage of it. And you can see we've got control of Vision, Thor, and that might be it right now. And basically, this is just one of those timed events. There's a bunch of bad guys that just continue spawning and getting you. Ultron's up in the middle with a force field. He keeps shooting things at you. And eventually he does this like heat ray that melts across our faces, and we got to jump over it. And essentially after a few things, oh yeah, he grabs us too, and we got to spam our way out of that by pressing the icon indicated rapidly. And basically, after a few rounds of this, we're going to actually see some bits fall from the ceiling and reveal a gold wall we can actually melt down. So more heat ray, and we'll get to that in a minute. You know, I wanted to take this opportunity, though, to talk about the levels. Now, you probably noticed we went through 1 through 7 and then skipped all the way over to 11. 8, 9, and 10 were kind of, it's weird how they did it. They were labeled as bonus levels, but in the trophy achievement list, they're actually sequential trophies or achievements that make you feel like, you know, levels 8, 9, and 10 are, you know, out of order. But if you continued the story, which most people did, and that's what we did, you ended up going from level 7 and completing that over to the beginning of level 11. So we are completing level 15 now, so we will have to return and actually play 8, 9, and 10, which we will do, and the videos will be up for those shortly, if they're not already up. And you can see, all right, we jumped over his laser beam. Actually, it was a heat ray, and we'll see this little cracked wall in the back now, and make sure you switch on over to Thor if you weren't already controlling him, and go ahead and target that crack. And don't step on the crack, you break your mama's back. Look at that. Look how much studdage we got there. That is a tremendous amount. We had a 4 times multiplier, so we got quite a bit. But although we're not really milking the stud factor, we could go a lot better and farm it out a little more, but we're just going to chill out and, you know, just go with the story, because that's what we're here for. We'll get that true Avenger once we get some red brick stud multipliers. All right, this new area actually revealed a couple of things, a couple of boxes, as well as these chains that go down to these like gold, I don't know exactly what they are. There's some sort of like weight or something. Melt both those weights and booyakashow, a larger gold bell falls right on top of Ultron. And it actually takes us to the next little sequence here where we can actually maybe do a little damage on him, huh? It does take a second or two for him to free himself. Actually, we have to go over there and free him. What am I talking about? We got to walk over there and use, I believe it's our heat ray one more time. Speaking of heat ray, there's actually in the back corner there, you can see there's another gold bell, which actually you can melt down, and it gives you a character token, I believe is what that is. We're going to skip on over that for now, though. Yeah. Anyhow, we're just taking out a bunch of bad guys, and eventually I make it over here. So it looks like we need telekinetic powers is what we needed. So we needed to come over there and press the icon indicated with Mr. Vision. I don't know if Thor can do that or not. I don't think he can. But once the bell has lifted, we actually get a little cha-cha-cha-cha-cha time, and you'll take a few hearts off and do some damage, and then, well, guess what? We get to repeat most of this process all over again. This one's a little bit quicker, though. He does pick up Thor and tosses him around like a rag doll, and once we get control of him again, some more minions come out, and he shoots some more fire beams at us and tries to melt us down, but we just keep on keeping on, and we're going to find our way all the way down and around until the next moment happens here, where I believe some more bricks fall from the ceiling, I think, or maybe they destroy the other gold wall in the back, I think is what it is. There's another gold wall off to the left that we deal with here in a second, but all right, we'll get to that. All right, jump quick. Whew, that was quick. You know, it's like the ultimate jump rope right here, right? I mean, you know, I know a lot of kids and you know, play double dutch and all them things. And I mean, think about this. What if you weren't using jump ropes? What if you were using like fire beams? That'd be pretty crazy. All right, so here we go. We made it through another little mini round of his minions and his attacks. He does knock down a bunch of stuff from the ceiling, which then reveals that gold wall as promised. So we'll go ahead and make our way over there, but make sure you grab those bluesies if you didn't already, hiding behind that corner. And all right, you know, I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not sure. What, anybody know what? Anyway, carve out the shape indicated here, and we'll move on from that. Yeah, build up the remaining bricks into what it turns into like an organ. It's not a piano. It's like an old organ. Again, use Vision's telekinetic powers to lift it up, which actually reveals a shock panel, so you can switch on over to Thor, charge up his hammer, and of course, pump it up. Oh yeah. And now he doesn't like the music. It's really bothersome for him. So he goes and crashes into our organ, and then guess what? He's ready for some more face rearranging. So we'll get up close and knock those teeth around. And we take him down, I think, was it 1 or 2 hearts? I actually missed it before he flew up and got his force field again. But he's going to go ahead and pick up Thor one more time. I'm not sure if he picks up Vision or not, if you're controlling Vision. All 3 times we got picked up, it was with Thor. So it reminded me a lot of Lego Dimensions. I'm sure you guys remember that from being picked up, and you had to move your character around on the toy pad. So it was nice not having to move a character around on the toy pad. And you probably noticed there was a mini kit up there floating around too. You certainly could use either of your flying characters to get up there and grab that. We'll be back for that in our free play. But all right, so you can see Ultron's got Thor by the throat, and his hammer's right next to him. But there's a whole slew of bad guys coming in, kind of making it difficult for us to pick it up, let alone see it. So we do a little power attack, and we clear the way, and we actually pick up Thor's hammer, and it takes us into a nice little
I am
cutscene.
Thor, son of Odin, and as long as there is life in my breast, I am running out of things to say. Are you ready?
Rhodey, get the rest of the people on board that carrier.
On.
Avengers, time to work for a living.
What's the drill?
This is the drill. If Ultron gets a hand on the core, we lose.
Is that the best you can do?
This is the best I can do.
Take out as many of these guys as you can. We can't let even a single one of them get away.
All right. You heard the lady. Don't let any of these guys escape. And other than a really small QuickTime event, this is pretty much the end battle with Ultron, and this will complete our Age of Ultron section of the movie. And of course, like I already mentioned, we're going to return back to the other levels, 8, 9, and 10, which will be a little taste of some other movies too. We get a little Iron Man 3, we get a little Winter Soldier, as well as Thor: The Dark World. So anyway, okay, so what we got going on here, notice up in the middle, we've got the Scarlet Witch with this weird meter around her, broke down into 3 pieces. Essentially what we need to do is just fend off all the bad guys. These guys just keep on coming, and you just got to keep taking them out. I found it was really easy to just keep hitting the circle or B button and kind of spin around in a circle with Hawkeye, because he launches these explosive arrows that not only take out stuff around you, but multiple bad guys in some cases. So, and they do seem to kind of almost be heat-seeking to an extent. So I was just spamming that button until that meter up above filled up to that first portion. And then, of course, it'll indicate that we should switch characters on over to the Scarlet Witch, and then we can utilize her special power and kind of blast the area, and then it'll take us over to the second part. So, again, rule of 3 here. So, 1 down, pretty much. It's indicating that she is ready and fully charged. We're going to go ahead and access her by pressing the triangle or Y button. And at that point, we will then make a big bada boom. Ready? Here we go. All right, you got to press and hold the icon indicator. For us, it was circle. And there she goes. Unleash the fury. All right, so she took out some bad guys, but also, more importantly, revealed a scan point. And so now we can go ahead and scan, and we find ourselves a nice little buddy pad here. So we're going to hop on with Quicksilver, because that's who it's indicating first. And although it's a little difficult to take out these bad guys and get on there, but we'll get there. And all right, switching back. Nope, there we go. I got it. Booyakashow. Maybe you needed Hawkeye on there. I'm not exactly sure, but it'll indicate for you who it was, and Quicksilver's certainly the main focal point there, and he spins around and runs all over and takes out a bunch of bad guys, and then actually takes us into the second area. So we are now officially filling up our second meter for the Scarlet Witch, and now we have control of Iron Man, Thor, and Quicksilver. And so this is a little bit more of a man's battle here. Well, at least they think so anyways. They all think they're awfully mighty. And all right, so we just got to take out all these bad guys. That's all it really is. And hopefully you're getting your stud multiplier up and getting tons of studdage, because we're going to have to actually spend some of that money soon. You know, I know a lot of you guys get anxious. I know Reese, my son, he gets really anxious too and likes to spend his studs early. And he'll buy characters just to get the characters, because obviously that's one of the main things you need to do is get all these characters. And there's a lot of them. So when he gets an opportunity to do that, he usually does. But I always tell him, save your money. Save it for the red brick stud multipliers first. Then then you'll get money so much faster, and it's so much easier. You don't have to go spend time trying to find or earn money. You'll have more money than you'll know what to do with. So, all right, our meter's charged up, and we're going to go ahead and switch over to the Scarlet Witch one more time. Well, actually, it's 2 more times, but right now we're going to do it, and we're going to power her up, and one more big bada boom coming up. All right, I switch on over to her. I press and hold the icon indicated, and booyakashow. All right. Well, I guess she doesn't really blow up anything. It's more of she is using her powers to scan or maybe summon one of these little things. So another Avenger scan is required out in the middle, as indicated by the giant floating hologram. And we'll get there in just a second. We keep pressing circle to do the scan, but it ends up attacking the bad guys, because that's one of like the special powers, or I don't know exactly what they call it, special attacks. So yeah, okay, so once you finally get it revealed, go ahead and step on it with old Thor. Iron Man will come up and he'll fly around and take out a bunch of bad guys, as you can see right now. And because there's not any real major talking, I didn't remove that and make it a cinematic scene. It was just, might as well talk over, right? Anyhow, we're over in the final area now. You can see Ultron in the back corner there. We got more of his minions up front. And that third gauge is filling up. We're about a third of the way on the final one. And once it fills up, we'll go ahead and use her, and it'll take us to a really short cutscene, and then it'll bring us back for a really short QuickTime event where we have to just basically rapidly press the button over our head, and then it'll take us to the final cutscene, and then, of course, we'll see at the total. So we are almost filled up with that meter, and, I should have been using Hulk. I love the old Hulk Sonic, I think Sonic Clap, is that what it's called? Anyways, that thing is pretty awesome. I mean, it takes out almost everything in its path, and it just looks cool while doing it, so... All right, we're about 85, 90% now on our meter. It's almost all the way. There we go. Cutscene, commence. That might have been the most epic Lego battle ever. But when we return, like I said, it's a really short scene here. I don't believe you can change characters. I think you have to stay Vision, and you just rapidly press these buttons here. For us, it was mostly square and circle, and I think a little bit of X coming up here in a second. But yeah, just fill up that meter, go all the way, and it'll take us to the final cutscene. And like we already said, we'll go ahead and see you there, and then we'll get excited because we only got 3 more levels until free play. Oh yeah, that's right. We gotta combine powers here. We gotta cross the stream, so to speak. So, yeah, again, all 3 of these have a little icon indicator. For us, it was square on all of them. Once all 3 of them are there, it'll take us away.
With the benefit of hindsight... I got no strings, so I have fun. I'm not tied up to anyone.
You didn't see that coming.
Boss, power levels are way below optimum.
Reroute everything. We get one shot at this. Thor, I'm gonna need you back in the church.
You'll never...
Booyakashow! Ultron Undone trophy achievement is now ours. The level is complete, which unlocks free play. So we will be able to return and play both the Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron scenes all the way through. So we do have those 3 bonus levels that, you know, technically are levels 8, 9, and 10, depending on how you look at it, that we are going to go back and do before free play, and then we're going to do a little preparation before then as well. You can see we do unlock a few characters for completing this story mission. So quite a few, actually. Look at that. Even Ultimate Ultron. That's right. The old Ultra. Booyakashow. And we didn't get a chance to freely, but we will, and we'll come back and get those mini kits too. So we only get the 1 gold brick for completing the level, and the continue story is going to mean one thing. That's actually going to take us to a long credit scene. We're going to skip that for you and go right to our final screen here, and that's going to wrap up LEGO Avengers Level 15 Story Ultron Undone. And hey, we've had a blast doing this. Hopefully you have too. If you have anything special you want to comment or you know, request, head on over to Facebook, Twitter, simply comment, vote, subscribe down below. HappyThumbsGaming.com is available as well. We do have a trophy achievement guide there. Some of you guys like to print things off and check them off as you go. That's a great way to handle our trophy achievement guides. If you guys have any questions or anything, let us know. We're here for you. So, yep, for me, that's going to do it. As always, until next time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm certainly excited. It's almost time to freely. See ya!